For me as a viewer of art, I know that what gets me excited, whether it's music, whether it's books, whether it's movies, or whether it's visual art, I like to be surprised. And I've been doing this long enough to have learned the lesson over and over and over again that whatever that magic is that makes something really successful, it's usually not when I was in control. It usually did not come from my planning. It usually came from when things went awry, when it didn't do what I expected. How it came to be is that my late husband, an artist, I kind of inherited his stuff, his studio, which is where I work now, and I gave away and donated most of his materials, but he loved pastels, and he had these beautiful boxes of pastels, of Sennelier pastels, and that's what I kept as a kind of whatever. I didn't want to give them away, and I felt like I had to kind of use them up to move forward in my practice and get back to my own work. And in the process of using up his pastels, initially I was just scribbling to use them all up. I started noticing how much of pastel dust doesn't stick to the paper, it falls down. And I began trying to catch the falling dust. First I would catch it in jars, and try to reuse it. And then I just got really interested in the process, and it was poignant to me, the process of the transition of this like pastel from a stick to a bunch of powder, and the idea of trying to recycle that, and it began to seem to me like a really wonderful way to document impermanence and change and chance, actually. So I got captivated by that process, and what started out as just trying to use up my late partner's supplies ended up becoming a process that I was really interested in, and that in fact also was a place to put my feelings around that loss, and I should say it was a great metaphor for that, for me at the beginning. I began realizing that I had to eliminate any aesthetics decisions, because what I was most interested in was the documentation of this process, of one piece making another without my interference, in a sense. And so that took some time to develop, because I didn't have these strict rules to begin with, Ultimately, I decided I would use, just the one color, just the one material, that while there was an object I was working on, the secondary object that the dust fell on, I couldn't touch or manipulate. And, and also the decision that they had to be shown in the same position in which they were made, because that angle is such a part of the process. This is essentially a very simple process. I make a mark, the dust from that falls on another thing, and that's all I'm doing. That's it. That's it. I think it's, in a way, kind of the biggest thing there is the understanding that all of this work, you and me, it's all impermanent, and yet my documentation of that is a pretty simple process.